Are we live? I think we're live. Yes, we are. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's been a minute. It's been a long minute. So I'm going to wait for notifications to go out first, and then we have to get right to business because the hiatus is over. Now, let me make sure that I can actually hear myself, and one of my devices just started playing. One sec. Whew. All right. I'm back. Now, let me see if I can hear myself, though. Okay, good. I sound good. I made sure I checked everything. Wi-Fi should also be good. There was a time where I had some stuff going on with my Wi-Fi. It's a lot better now, okay? And let me actually just fix this just a little bit. That way the optical illusion is complete. But welcome back, everyone. It has been a minute. It's been months. Actually, I think it's been about 4 months, right? So on my very last live stream, I basically mentioned to everyone who was able to be there and watch the replay that I was going to take a small little hiatus. Why? Well, mostly because I was going to use this sucker right here most of the summer, and I did. So thankfully, I was able to do a lot of traveling, so lots of fun, lots of time to decompress, but I knew that going in to this September holiday season, I knew that I was going to be very, very, very busy. I live a pretty busy life with my full-time job and then also trying to go to the gym, and then YouTube now coming right back up, which is super exciting though, because one of the reasons that I like to go on breaks is because I never want like YouTube or my passion to seem like a chore, right? So like that's the whole reason of taking breaks. I'm a firm believer in taking breaks in a lot of things in life, right? So like I just needed to step away, make sure that I was gonna not overcommit, you know, so that was another main thing. And hey, I mean, while traveling, the last thing you want to do is make it seem like you're working while you're going on a vacation, right? But here we are, and I'm more than thrilled to be back. We have a lot of announcements today. So Apple's September event has come and gone. I watched a lot of it, and I watched the replay too, and there's a lot of things that I think people are missing here. Now, I do see that the chat, actually, we have a good bit of people here on chat. There's this new XP system, by the way. Since last time that I was here, they introduced this new XP system. It basically is farming for engagement, right? So it resets every live stream. So it's not like it keeps a count. So if you're not able to make it to one of the live streams, then on the next one, you can still be number one. It's just a way for me to shout out my most active subscribers at the time of my live stream. So there's also that. A big way to be able to get points on that XP system, which first off, I want to preface that by saying I never expect this, right? Like these live streams, there's a moth here, sorry. I never expect this, but you can also do super chats, and that really gives you a bunch of XP, but only do that if you truly feel like it comes from your heart. And if you do, $2 is fine. That's normally enough for a bag of Takis, and that makes me happy, right? And that goes directly to funding the channel, because while I'm filming this holiday season, I'll likely be hungry, and having some snacks nearby would be pretty nice, you know? But there's also that. Again, I never expect it from any of you guys, though, so please don't ever feel obligated, because obviously you're not obligated. I'm just some guy on the internet, right? But if you ever do, just know that that's there, and just know that I will always, always give you a shout out, and I'm very appreciative. So let me go ahead and catch up here with the live chat. We do see the hearts right there, if on the corner, the bottom right corner, if you're using an iPhone or any kind of tablet. The hearts there are going insane. Shout out to everyone pressing the hearts. It is nice to see you guys again and to see a nice and active chat. Aaron Wolfert first, just like before you left. There's contention to who was first today, but Aaron, officially you are on the list as first, and I know that that's going to make some people slightly upset, but that's okay. We got Mr. Carlos Delgado saying no way. Yes, Sirski, there is a way. Alex doing this for the XP, as I mentioned. Techify, hey bud, hello Techify, nice to see you here. This is King Sakar. Oh, okay, so King Sakar. Bet. That makes so much sense. Nice to see you, King Sakar. I know that. I think I had seen one of your comments, and then also Miss History Buff, which was very heartwarming. It made me very happy. Both of you and other users as well during my hiatus have asked when I was going to come back and everything like that. So very, very good for my morale and for my motivation. So we're here, King Sakar. We're out here making things happen, you know? All right. We also have Alexander Yeager. Let's go. We can hear you. Thank you. Thank you. It looks like it's crystal clear as well. The Wi-Fi is acting up as it should. Literally, my new Google router is right by my foot. I can almost kick it. So it's like right here. So there's no way that my fiber should be messing up, okay? Jasmine Covarrubias, my sister-in-law. Samuel is saying hi before he goes to bed. Kako. Oh, that is so adorable. Oh, Jasmine, I'm not sure if you're still watching or not, but tell the babies that I miss them and that I love them. So Samuel's my little nephew, and he calls me Caco because little children cannot say Juan Manuel nor Juan. Like, it's just not in their phonics yet. They can't move their little mouths like that, right? But that's why names like Caco, 2 syllables, is really nice. And there's actually a funny story behind that. So real quick, for my Hispanic speakers, when I was very young, even in my adolescence, I was extremely scrawny, very, very skinny. So my family nicknamed me Flaco, Flacko, Flaco, right? Or just Flaco, sorry. So Flaco. But children, again, can't say those kinds of syllables, right? Or sometimes they just have problems with certain words. So instead, it became Caco. And my little nephews call me Caco, and I love them, and I just miss them already. But thank you for that, Jasmine. That made my night. Mr. Freddie Hernandez, what is up, my boy? Hello, Freddie. I know that you had some questions, and I'm here to answer them. I just want to catch up here to the chat, and then we're getting right to it because we have a lot to talk about, and my day isn't over yet. I still have to go to the gym. All right, so we got Hola, bienvenido, Alex Yeager. I appreciate you shouting me out. No problem. Techify. Hey, I'm King Sakar. Cena, remember me, Juan? Yes, I do. Gabriel Escalona. Damn Yeager. Okay, Gabriel. Instead of saying damn Yeager, why not damn Juan? We missed you, bud. I started posting content. Excellent. Excellent, King Sakar. If you started posting content, then you have to send me links. So send me links to my Instagram, and you know I'm going to subscribe. You know that I'm going to be there for you, bro. That's awesome. Mr. Jerry Aguirre with the year. Techify also says, also, I'm getting the iPhone 17s on 13th of September, my birthday, and the embargo on YouTubers goes down on the 19th, but I can still technically send you a video as I didn't sign an NDA. Behind the scenes footage. Techify, that'd be awesome. Actually, yeah. Dude, all right, so I got to hit you up tomorrow on Instagram. Or actually, you hit me up if you can. Johnny Cortez, what's up, my guy? Hello, Johnny. Nice for you to make it. Gabriel Escalona right now being number 3 in terms of experience right now with the what's up. Actually, it should be a what up. I can kind of hear you in my head right now. So, all right, we're getting right to it. All right, into the actual good stuff here rather than the introductions. I was a little nervous actually getting back on here since it's been so long, but now I'm back in my element, and thank you guys for everyone who's made it to the live chat right now. I really do appreciate you guys. Let me look at my dash. It changed a little bit. So it looks like we have concurrent viewers right now, 18. Can we get 20? Can we get 20? But all right, so starting us off, the iPhone 17, okay? So the iPhone 17, and I'm going to have my iPad mini here, if you will, as I present. So the iPhone 17 is going to be the boringest of these upgrades, okay? Although I think that there's tremendous value here. But more or less, the design remains the same. There are some new colors, right? So it still has that pill-shaped iPhone 16 design. So this is the successor to the iPhone 16. Now, the only difference with this lineup is that there's no more 17 Plus. The Plus has been axed, and in its place is a new phone, which, unless you've been living under a rock today or just didn't get on the internet, Apple launched their new iPhone Air. So now technically it replaces the Plus line. But okay, so it starts at $799. So the pricing did also go up there. It used to be $729 on the starting price. Yeah, Yeah, so iPhone pricing has steadily been creeping up. Also, the Plus used to be $929, if I'm not mistaken, or $829. I forget which one of those. But now that one starts at, I think, $1,000, but we're going to get to that. So anyway, some of the things that I really like about the new iPhone 17 is that it finally has ProMotion technology. So ProMotion, for those that don't know, if you don't have a Pro model, it's really hard to describe, but ProMotion basically just means that your screen is refreshing at 120 hertz. Now that sounds like nerd talk, and I know, but just hear me out. So that means that within 1 second, in layman's terms, what's happening is that your screen is refreshing at 120 hertz in that instance, right? So if you go down to 60, which is what it was before, that means that it's refreshing less often, therefore creating a less fluid image. Are you following me? So the higher the hertz, the more fluid the images look on your display because it's being refreshed so many times. So this used to be a feature that first started on the iPad Pros, then it came over to the iPhone Pros, and now finally the regular iPhone 17 has ProMotion, and thank the Lord, because when you're paying almost $800 for this kind of phone, I mean, it's to be expected, like finally, right? Okay, apart from that, it's also now more durable. So apparently what Apple says is that this is the Ceramic Shield 2 on the front, which is supposed to give you 30% more scratch resistance. To be honest, I don't even know how they come up with these figures. Like, how did you pull that percentage? How? Like, what kind of testing did you do? I'm sure they have it somewhere in like the terms and conditions or whatever, but yeah. So anyway, these are the new things that we get. The display is actually going to be a 6.3-inch Super Retina XDR display, their best ever, they claim. It's going to be 3,000 nits of brightness, so it did get brighter, and it's now 120 hertz, so that's really, really good. 18 megapixel center stage front camera. So the front camera did get a nice beefy upgrade as well. So those selfies, especially those conference videos with that, what do they call it again? Center stage, is just going to be a lot more fluid. And it used to bug out a lot when you had more than one person. Now it's going to do a lot of better facial tracking, so that if it's like 3 people on a conference or whatever, it's not going to like just continuously just pan in and out. You know what I mean? So apart from that, you can also now charge the iPhone 17 50% in 20 minutes. If that matters to you, that's also important for like when you're traveling and you're low on juice, then at least you know that 50% of your battery will be recharged, assuming you have the correct wall plug, of course. So now it's sold separately. As you guys know, it's not included in the box anymore. So it's also funny how Apple does this, but like if you look to compare the new CPU, they never have the prior year model because the differences are negligible. It might be like a 20%, 30% gain, and for real world purposes, you can't even notice that. But anyway, the new 17 compared to the iPhone 15, so 2 years ago, the CPU is now 40% faster, up to 80% faster 5-core GPU, so games play a lot more fluid on the 17 thanks to that beefier chipset, but you do also get 10 more hours of video playback. Other than that, though, that's about it. You do also get Wi-Fi 6E, I think, which is super important if you have hypergig speeds. AT&T does have hypergig fiber internet. Hit me up if you need fiber or if you're wondering if fiber is available in your area, either on my Instagram, Facebook, or if you know me directly, you know where to reach me. Let me see if I have fiber available for you, and I'll get someone out there to install it for you. Also give you all the best discounts. All right, other than that, the new cases and shit, but I forgot I'm allowed 5 cuss words. That's my first one. But yeah, I mean, other than that, there's really not much different that's going to be, all too much exciting. Although the 120 hertz refresh rate is a very, very big positive. The Ceramic Shield 2 making a more durable phone is always great, so that's pretty nice. The action button, you get that as well, but I mean, the 16 also had that, so that's not new. Dynamic Island as well, it's been with us. They tout it as if it's like a new feature when it's really not. So that's the boringest of them. I mean, yes, it's improvements across the board, but it's like a typical S upgrade. It's just, okay, better chipset, great. Better cameras, awesome. Slightly better battery, yep. But now we have a better display. So that's very, very big. And yeah, that's about it. Now, moving on to the iPhone Air. So now this one starts at $1,000. After this, I'm going to get caught up with the live chat because I do see that some of you guys are potentially asking questions here. But yeah, the new iPhone Air. This one was very confusing because a lot of people who aren't in the Apple game, they were not expecting this, right? So the iPhone Air is going to be their thinnest iPhone to date. Honestly, there was rumors of an alleged leak that Apple was going to do this. So for anyone who's a Samsung fan, Samsung recently released their S25 Edge. So it's this super duper thin phone, excuse me, that's only about as thick as the port itself, the USB-C port. It feels really gnarly in the hand. It's just this slab of just cold metal, right? And this big old display, and it's tiny, it's skinny. It feels great. But there are some drawbacks to skinny phones. I mean, the good thing is Apple had to use titanium, the material titanium, to get it to be that thin. For those millennials that remember, whenever the iPhone 6 first came out, or wait, no. Yeah, the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. The first time it came out, it was bending in people's pockets, but that's because they were using a lower grade of aluminum, or as my British people call it, aluminium. So with it being titanium, you're never going to have to worry about it bending or anything like that. So don't even worry about that. But also that in theory means that the battery is going to be diminished because there's less space for that battery to run. And actually, from what I read on Twitter, the battery life on the new 17 Air matches the battery of the 16 Plus. So when you go from one generation to the next, I know that we're going from Plus to technically a new product, but that's what it's replacing. It's replacing the 16 Plus. It just sucks when you go from one generation to the next and the battery life remains the same. I mean, that is kind of a given, though. It is a smaller chassis to hold all that. But this is the new iPhone Air. I'm going to quote here, quoting from Apple's website. The all-new iPhone Air is so impossibly thin and light that it nearly disappears in your hand. That feeling of feeling the edge feels cool. I can't wait to feel a very, very thin iPhone like this. I'm going to keep reading. At 5.6 millimeters and weighing just 165 grams, it's the thinnest iPhone ever, even with a large immersive 6.5-inch display and the power of the A19 Pro chip. It's a paradox you have to hold to believe. And the story here basically is the design, right? So here, what Apple's trying to do is trying to show everyone, ooh, look at this shiny new iPhone. It's different. It's new. You should get it. But also it comes with a price increase. So now it's at $999 is what the Air starts at. These are the colors for them, which honestly, they're really fire. I love all of them. I really like that sky blue. And again, the story here that they're trying to sell you is the design. Just look at how thin that is. I mean, the marketing there is ingenious. Like, that's awesome. That's so cool to see a phone that thin, right? And so then there you go. So that's the front and back of the device. It starts at 256 gigabytes, which is great. For $999, I was kind of expecting that. If they try to throw us 128 gigs, that would have been a slap in the face. You can then upgrade to double your storage to the 512 for $200 more. So at that point, you're spending $1,200. And I realized I just made a mistake. I didn't bring water. Man, what a rookie mistake. And then 1 terabyte, so quadruple the starting storage, is going to be $400 more than the base MSRP, which is $1,000. All right, in a second, I'm going to compare them side by side using Apple's nifty little compare tool and see exactly what's different between the 16 Plus and then the 17 Air. And we're going to do the same thing for the Pro models, okay? But first, let me catch up here a little bit with the live chat. Let me make sure that I am catching up here. I think I was right here. I'll hit you up, but thank you. Carlos says, yo, what's up? Hello, Carlos. What's up with you, man? Johnny Cortez said, so get the 16 instead of the 17. It's going to depend on your pricing and what you're able to kind of, or really what you truly want from your phone, because obviously once the new ones drop, the 16s are going to go on sale left and right. And I know where I work at AT&T, we're definitely going to have some really cool deals on the 16s. So hit me up if you want any of that. Alex Yeager, $929 for the Plus. Correct. So it used to be $929, and so now it's a base $999. So effectively, that had an increase of $70. I know it sucks, right? Jerry Riggs Everything Scratch Test. Hey, I know. I love watching the scratch tests. Batman, 120 hertz is hard to tell on a phone that size, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's more noticeable on like the bigger tablets for sure. Another thing is that once you get used to a display that's 120 hertz, it's hard going back to 60 hertz. Trust me, it's terribly hard to go back to 60 hertz. Can't do it. Just can't do it. Where was I? Molly says, I wish they brought the purple color into the Pro models instead of the dark blue. I know. When the 14 Pro had that like purple color, God, that was perfection. That was so nice. Jesus. We have Jenna saying, hi, welcome back. Thank you, Jenna, for welcoming me back. Molly, I always get the Pro, but kind of want the Air. It looks super dope. I'm not even going to lie. It looks really clean. Batman said, Ben Gate, I worked at Sprint when that happened. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm telling you. That was just something that I specifically said millennials because some Gen Z will remember, but I was like, what? This makes me feel old. I got my first phone, which was the 4S, when I could legally work, which was 16. So then it was the 5S, and then 6. So 3 years later, I was 19, right? So 19. Sure, some Gen Z did get their phones early on. I didn't get my first cell phone until 16, but for those that remember, yeah, Bengate was this whole thing. And it's really what launched Unbox Therapy's YouTube success. If you guys remember, it was Unbox Therapy. That bald guy that always wears the caps with the glasses, talks really nonchalant, you know what I mean? I like as if he's approaching you at the bar and he's your bro and y'all just dapping each other up. What's going on? Yeah, that guy. He really put Bengate on the map. And then the news articles got wind of it, and then it was a whole PR disaster for Apple. They very intelligently, the next year, they used a much stronger grade of aluminum, and they thickened the chassis just a little bit. So it shouldn't happen with this phone again, though, because it is titanium, and titanium is much, much, much stronger than just that whatever series. I think it was 3000 series aluminum that they were using or whatever on the iPhone 6. But anyway, love the sky blue too. It's a beautiful color. I really like it. Batman, get some water, Juan. We'll wait for you. Thankfully, my throat's a little better, but I still have a lot to cover, dude. So I might have to go here in a second. Johnny Cortez, I want the Pro Max, but I don't know if it's worth getting. The Pro Max thankfully retained the same price, so I'm about to cover the Pro models here in just a second. The new trail loops are fire. I know, dude. I know. All the new bands look really, really nice. That's another thing that my wallet is not ready for is all the bands. And then we have Aaron Will with the hey, hello. I'm really happy that a lot of you guys are very welcoming that I'm back, and that makes my heart really, really happy. I just hope that you guys know. But here, let me just real quick compare the 16 Air versus the Plus, because again, the main story here is basically that it is a brand new device. It's new, and that's the story they're trying to sell you. So let me compare iPhones real quick. We're gonna go 16 Plus, and then we're gonna go with the 17 or the iPhone Air. So let's look right here. So it actually got smaller, kind of crazy, right? So the 16 Plus had a 6.7-inch display. The Air is now going to have a 6.5 inch, so already a downgrade there. But like I said, it's ProMotion technology, and it also has the always-on display option, just like the Pro models, which for the people that are afraid that it's going to sap your battery, it's not. It's going to refresh at 1 hertz, so it's barely going to use any battery. But you can always turn off this setting in the settings. Yeah. Titanium frame versus aluminum. Ceramic Shield 2 versus the regular one. And this is where we're actually going to see some bigger differences for any people that use their phone for some serious photography, or maybe you actually really like to mobile game. And no, I'm not talking about like Pokemon Go and Clash Royale. I'm talking about like Apple Arcade, like you're constantly gaming. And a lot of these games use a lot of 3D rendering, right? So this is where the A19 Pro is going to be just way better than the chipset found on the 16 Plus. So if you want something very fast and snappy and, you know, is going to run all your best games or any kind of photo editing, you want to use the Air. A19 Pro with a 6-core CPU and a 5-core GPU with neural accelerators, and that's really going to help again with gaming. Hardware accelerated ray tracing on both. This is what I was talking about though. Notice the battery life. It remained the same, and so that's kind of a bummer. The front camera is better. It goes from a 12 megapixel to an 18 megapixel. Tap to zoom and rotate. So they did a lot of stuff with the whole cameras. I might even have to do a live solely dedicated to all the new camera features because there's a lot. Like, I'm talking a lot. Of course, they redesigned the whole camera setup. So now instead of having a dual camera system that's like a elongated pill shape, it's instead like a visor, and it's one single lens. So it's going to be a 48 megapixel fusion camera system with a 48 megapixel fusion being the main sensor. So you'll be able to take just really, really high resolution photos. It's really going to throw a lot of people off. The fusion sensor, people are going to wonder, well, we go from 2 cameras down to 1. I mean, yes, and people with lower IQs will say 2 cameras, 1 camera, what's happening? Yeah, you have a fusion camera in there, bucko, so you're going to have 2 cameras in 1. It's like I'm in sales. It's my job to explain that to people. So it's really nice that you have the fusion camera system in there. Next generation portraits and Dolby Vision up to 4K at 60 FPS for anyone who actually cares about video editing. Optical zoom options, you go from a 0.5, a 1, and a 2 now to only a 1 and a 2 times. And that's because you got rid of one of those physical sensors. So kind of a bummer, right? Other than that, though, that's about it. The display went down in size. Let's see, do I see any other differences? Nit max brightness did go up on the Air, so if you're outdoors a lot, then you're going to have much more brightness outdoors on the Air, so that's technically an improvement. Here's where it's crazy. The weight on the 16 Plus was 199 grams. Now it went down to 165, so pretty crazy there. And then it's only 5.64 millimeters thick, which before it was 7.8 millimeters. So like I said, not many changes here. If you have a 16 Plus and you're considering getting a 17 Air, my personal opinion is I wouldn't. To be honest, I wouldn't. So you're going to go down in screen size, even though it's a much superior display. You have ProMotion, but I just don't think it's worth it. Not even from a 15 Plus, to be completely honest with you. Maybe if you're coming from something like a 14 Plus or older, then I'd say the Air is definitely going to be a great upgrade for you. 15 Plus is going to be honestly a very lukewarm upgrade for you. And then if you're going to go from a 16 Plus to a 17 Air, then just know what you're getting is just to show everyone that you have a new phone. So that's that. That's the new Air. That's the one that everyone is kind of raising their eyebrow at, because from a tech and financial perspective, it really just does seem that it was like a cash grab, because they had to find a way to increase the pricing without alienating their very loyal Apple sheep like me. The new orange looks trash on the 17 Pros, but the 2 terabyte is overkill. 2 terabytes on an iPhone is absolutely insane. My channel exclusively has tech unboxings, man. We're going to have to do a collab one of these days, man. So maybe after the holiday season, I'm really, really trying to get somewhere to close to maybe the 85,000 subscribers plus. What I did want to mention at the end of the live stream is that you'll be seeing a lot more shorts from me as well. So from what I've been reading and doing some research and asking AI, apparently shorts is the way to go to really, really get a lot more eyes on the channel. So we'll do a combination of shorts, live streams, and then of course my regular long form videos. Aaron says, I'm going to the Air from the 14 Pro Max. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's like justifiable. 14s going to the 17 Air, I say it's solid. I mean, the older the better. Like if you have a 13, dude, the 17 Air is a no-brainer. Like there's going to be a great upgrade for you. But we do have to get started now on the Pros, and the Pro story is that it also has a redesign. So finally, iPhone tweaked the design, or Apple, I keep saying iPhone. They tweaked the design on the 17 Pro, and now it comes in only 3 color choices, being dark navy, gray, not white, and the new orange color, which I definitely will be getting the new orange color, duh. So this is the new design right here. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people think that this is hideous. I'm indifferent. I mean, I was very critical, for example, of the Apple Watch Ultra 3 when it first came out, Or I'm sorry, the Apple Watch Ultra 1. It's just that I'm talking about the 3 today. I thought that design was hideous, and now it's really just grown on me. I mean, I wear my Apple Watch Ultra almost exclusively. So yeah. But yeah, that's the new design. You only get 3 color options. I think that orange is really sick. This is the one that I'm excited for, so I'm definitely upgrading my phone, and this is the one that I'm getting. I don't know yet what I'll do with my 16 Pro Max. I think I'm just going to keep it. Because one day I want to do an evolution of the iPhone, very long video, but showcasing every single iPhone. Now, attaining and getting a working model of every single iPhone in a legal and ethical way is going to be very hard. So we'll see how that goes. But this is it, guys. I'm going to go over what's different here in just a second. Again, it only comes in 3 finishes. It's the orange, so silver, which is going to be like this grayish. It's not really white. It's more of like the natural finish, and the old white, if they came together and had a baby, this is what it would be. And then it also comes in that orange color. Cosmic orange is officially what they're calling it. Looks really, really nice. And then you have deep blue. I'm not really one to be about those like boring, dull blue colors. That's just my opinion, though. I know a lot of you guys really, really, really dig those dark navy colors. But there's also that one. I was surprised that the pricing is remaining the same. So it starts at $1,200 for the 17 Pro Max, just as how it started before. And the 17 Pro is only $100 less than that, starting at $1,100. But now they introduced the 2 terabyte option on the 17 Pro Max, which is complete overkill. 2 terabytes. That iPhone is going to cost you $2,000 as well. Now, I want to go back and compare, because aside from the design, there are some other notable differences here that I think are worth mentioning for those that are going to want to upgrade. Because trust me, I know that there's going to be hundreds upon thousands of people wondering the same thing. Well, I have a 16 Pro Max. I want the 17 Pro Max, but is it any different? What is different? Well, let's check. So I have both of these next to each other right now, 16 Pro and 17 Pro right there. So I actually have the Desert Titanium over here in the 16 Pro, and actually we need to move them around. So 16 Pro and 17 Pro Max. There we go, right? So let's see what changed. So we still have the same gorgeous 6.9-inch Super Retina XDR display, so nothing with the display really changed. We are going to an aluminum unibody construction instead of it having a titanium frame. This, in theory, does make it less durable, so be very careful with drops, and I would always recommend either a case or screen protector and or both. And if you're really a klutz and if you're a real big butterfinger, then you'll want to get some kind of insurance or protection plan with your carrier. Seriously, these phones are expensive. Also, you have the Ceramic Shield 2 front, 3 times better scratch resistant, and the Ceramic Shield back, so the backing should also be very good. Water resistance rating up to 6 meters for 30 minutes stays the same. Now, a difference is in the chipset. We go from the A18 Pro now to the A19 Pro. So again, not really that much difference. You're going to have, again, the classic, especially coming from the 16 Pro Max, you're going to see maybe a 15% gain to CPU, maybe a 20% gain to GPU, and they're always going to advertise that their new chipset is able to conserve more and more battery, and I do believe that we're going to get a little bit better on battery life, which Apple confirms. We're going from 33 hours of video playback. Again, very strange how Apple rates their battery life, because when they mean video playback, what they basically mean is low RAM consumption applications such as Apple TV. So whenever they say up to 33 hours of video playback, what they're saying is that you can watch Apple TV uninterrupted on your phone at whatever brightness. They have a little asterisk there. So you can probably check what brightness they had it at, and that's how they test it, which is very odd because most people aren't using low RAM consumption media players. A lot of people are using the Netflix application, the Hulu application, while multitasking on their phones. So it's not really a very accurate or sincere way of showing video playback, but whatever. That's the nerd in me. I just want to point that out. We go from 33 to 39 hours of video playback. Again, take that with a grain of salt, because who on earth is going to be watching just Apple TV and nothing else on their phone for 39 hours? Like, it's just a weird way to measure battery life. And that's why I do my battery drain test. And yes, one is coming very soon, so stay tuned. All right. Same thing with the front-facing camera. We have that 18-megapixel center stage front camera, so it's just going to be much better for selfies, yada, yada. 18 megapixels versus 12 megapixels of the past one, so more megapixels just means a crisper image. The big differences are going to be to that camera setup there in the back. So before, it was a 48-megapixel Fusion main sensor, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide, and then the telephoto. So here we go to a 48 megapixel Pro Fusion camera system that houses the same 48 megapixel Fusion main sensor. The other is going to be a 48 megapixel Fusion ultra wide. So it goes from just ultra wide to Fusion ultra wide. Interesting stuff. And now we also have a 48 megapixel Fusion telephoto, whereas before they just called it the telephoto lens. So massive improvements here. Another good thing is that we're also able to record now, I believe, up to 8K if I'm not mistaken. Macro photography, Dolby Vision up to 4K at 120 frames per second. The optical zooms, you're also going to get better zoom levels. So now instead of having 0.5, 1, 2, or 5x, which I think here, let me actually check. I do have my iPhone right here. So we're going to go from a 0.5, a 1, a 2, and a 5. So like this would be the 5, right? That's the 2, that's the 1, and then that's the 0.5. So now you're going to get 5 different levels. So you still retain the 0.5, the 1, the 2, but instead of the 5x, you now get introduced to a 4x zoom and an 8x zoom. So fascinating stuff that's going to make versatility of the camera system a lot better. I like that. That's very good. So faster charging, MagSafe wireless charging up to 25 watts with 30. That stays the same. Price, again, remained the same, but this time they introduced the 2 terabyte option. Let's see, what else? What else is different on here? 3000 nits peak brightness outdoors. So before on the 16 Pro Max, it was limited to 2000 nits peak brightness. Now it's going up to 3000. Very nice, very nice. This phone is going to weigh a little bit more than the prior models, and it's going to be a little bit thicker as well, so something to keep in mind. And before anyone asks, no, your old cases are not going to work. You're going to have to get new ones. Other than that, the A19 Pro chip and the A18, not really there to really talk about. Video recording, this is what I wanted to look at because I'm pretty sure we get 8K recording now. I'm going to have to confirm that later, but I'm pretty certain. We do have ProRes RAW recording and also Genlock support. For anyone who knows what the hell that is, that's basically for video editors, so that's always really nice. Center stage for video calls, dual capture center stage for photos. Ultra stabilized videos now come on the 17 Pro Max. They did not on the 16 Pro Max. And that's about it. We have Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6 on the 17 Pro Max versus Bluetooth 5.3 of the 16 Pro Max. So that's always really good to have better Bluetooth, just more reliability and longer range. But other than that, that's it. That's what's new with the 17 Pro Max. Again, some would say that that's very lackluster, and I mean, I kind of agree. But there are some noticeable improvements, especially in the camera department, especially in the battery life department. And your chipset, again, is just going to be a little bit faster. But for those wondering, 16 Pro Max to 17 Pro Max, normally I would say don't do it. There's not enough differences really to differentiate the two. The 8 zoom is nice, but not really needed. I guess it is a much more durable phone with the Ceramic Shield 2, so that's always really nice. And it comes in that awesome new orange color. So I'm not usually impressed with the Pro Max models or the Pros just because they end up being about the same thing year after year. But that is the iPhones. Now, really quickly, I'm going to go over the Apple Watch Ultra and then the SE3. Look at the differences there. And then on the next live, I really want to focus on bands and the watches because a lot of people, they want to know what's going on with the iPhones. But yeah, I want a special live specifically for the Apple Watch bands and the Apple Watches, okay? Where was I? Oh, Aaron, I'm going to the Air. Oh, Molly, right here. So I should not get the Air coming from an iPhone 16 Pro. I would say no. The differences are very negligible, and I mean, you're going from one generation to the next. Aaron, the trade-in deals are crazy not to upgrade. AT&T $830 bill credit. Actually, yes, and I'm not sure if it's confirmed yet. I have to wait until tomorrow. but I think AT&T is increasing their trade-in credit from $1,000 now up to $1,100. So it's really nice. Johnny Cortez, I'll be upgrading from iPhone 13 Pro. Come and see me, bro. I'll definitely set you up with that. Wish it came in black. Batman 1100 thought the Pro was at 1050. Nope, it's at 1100. It's at 1099. Tyra says hi. Hello, Tyra. King Sakai would definitely get the Air if it wasn't for the one camera. Dude, I know. They fudged up so bad because, again, people are going to say one camera and instantly their brain is going to go to inferior or just worse, right? So I was thinking the same thing. Been a while on YouTube. I know, Tyra, at the beginning I was mentioning that I just had to take a little break, a little hiatus. Plus, I was doing a lot of traveling this year anyway, so it was just kind of needed for me. Let's see, where are we? How's work at AT&T? It's very, very good. I can't complain. Apple TV has a horrible selection, to be honest. It really does. No one really watches Apple TV. Tyra, how's your evening been going? It's been going really good. Thank you for asking. I just got off of work just recently. It was a very, very hectic day. So I'm just very excited for the new iPhones and everything that's dropping. No jokes. Hello, no jokes. How are you? Tyra, I miss you on YouTube. Oh, thank you, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. There were so many people as well that were commenting on my videos asking me when the next upload was going to be. And, man, I'm just happy to be back. I'm really happy to be back in the mojo of things. And I knew I gave myself a time frame that my hiatus was soon going to end and to take advantage of it. But I'm hungrier than ever. Like, I'm turning 30 next week. What am I talking about? This Saturday. So I'm turning 30. I know. Go ahead and get all the old jokes out the way. It's insane how fast I turned from 24 or even early 20s now to 30. But I'm blessed. I feel great. And we keep chugging along, right? But very excited, very excited. So let's go ahead and look back real quick at, and then we have Eric Alarcon, my boy Eric. Yes, I appreciate you coming over to the live, man. Very, very appreciative. Let's go ahead and look at what's different with the Apple Watch Ultra 3 first. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys I'm also not impressed with what's different with the Ultra 3. Versus the Ultra 2. I own the Ultra 2, and I have it here to compare. So Apple Watch Ultra 3. There we go. So cool new bands. Like I said, I do want to go over the bands in a separate live stream so I can nerd the hell out over them, okay? But Apple Watch Ultra 2 and Apple Watch Ultra 3, 49 millimeter titanium case. I swear I heard that it was enlarged. Or maybe it's the bezels. I'm not sure. Always on retina display, up to 3,000 nits, wide angle OLED, so it's just going to have better visibility for when you're looking at it from an angle. That's always very nice. And it's going to have an LTPO3 screen technology. Again, just basically means better viewing with the angles and whatnot. This is going to have the hypertension notifications, ECG app, so that all of that is really good. Blood oxygen app, sleep tracking, vitals app that is now going to help you with your heart rate, respiratory rate, wrist temperature, sensing, which goes with cycle tracking for women, ovulation cycles, and everything like that. The new Ultra 3 is going to have emergency SOS via satellite, though. So that's going to be even more crucial for, let's say the Ultra 3 is for people who consider themselves more rugged, right? So if you're ever like in a pinch, at least you know you have emergency SOS via satellite. Water resistance still the same. Depth gauge still the same. We're going to have the first ever 5G capable Apple Watch Ultra, so that's going to be really nice. Before they were basically running off 4G speeds, but now it's going to be 5G, so really nice. We're going to have the S10 that has the wrist flick gesture, the double tap gesture, on-device Siri with health data access, which is nice, and precision finding for iPhone, which we had before. The battery life, the story of the Ultra 3 is that it just gets better. One of the reasons why I love my Ultra 2 is because it lasts me around 3 to 3.5 days without having to charge it. Now, on paper, it's going to go up from 36 hours to 42. So for me, on average, I get 3.5 days before I have to recharge my Ultra. Pretty good, but it just got better. Now this means that I can easily make it to the 4th day and wake up and probably still have like another 10% left on my watch. Always great to have much faster battery. The fast charging is a lot better now. Before it was 0 to 80 in about an hour. Now it's going to be 0 to 80 in about 45 minutes. So that's very, very nice. Other than that, though, did anything else change? We do have a difference in display area, actually. So it's still 49 millimeter casing, but now we have 1,245 square millimeters of display area. And before it was 1185, so really 15. So you get 60 millimeters of extra display area. They were able to do that by stretching out the dimensions of the bezels and just giving you a little bit more screen there on the sides. Still, technically, the diagonal measurement is still going to be 49 millimeters, so that didn't change. But you do have more screen area, and yes, all of your old bands will still work. Other than that, is that all we have? Satellite connectivity. Yeah, that's going to be everything that I can kind of think of for right now. Again, very lackluster. I didn't really see really anything super enticing that would make someone want to go from the Ultra 2 to the Ultra 3. Maybe if you have an aging Ultra 1, going to the Ultra 3 would be, and actually that might be a good video to make. Like, are you upgrading from the Ultra 1 to the Ultra 3? And then a separate video of the Ultra 2 to the Ultra 3 differences should you upgrade. You see? So, I need to write this down. Let me put this in my notes real quick. Because I'm telling you guys, it's grind time. Ultra 1 versus Ultra 3. Same starting price and everything, so that didn't change. Now let's go over to the Series 11, and the story is the same, guys. I mean, you do get a little bit more finishes, so now you have rose gold aluminum, silver aluminum, space gray aluminum, and then jet black aluminum. So they did change a little bit. They used to have the slate, or no, actually, we still have slate, titanium, natural, and gold. Okay, so still same thing over here for the Series 11. Let me see. God, this is just even worse, huh? So 5G capable on the Series 11. S10 chip. It had the S10 chip before, though. Don't be deceived. The only thing, which is this is so stupid to me. They have the same chip. And see, this is why I'm so real with you guys. They have the same chip. Why does one have the wrist flick gesture and why doesn't the other? You're telling me that the Series 10 is that outdated and that much of dumb technology that it can't support a wrist flick gesture and a software upgrade? All right, rant over. Better battery life now on the Series 11, finally. For most people, a Series 10, and I own a Series 10 as well. For most people, if you wake up at a reasonable time, let's say 8 in the morning, and you finish your day, let's say at 10 p.m., then a Series 10, by the end of the night at 10 p.m., you'll have anywhere from 20% to 30% battery left. So you kind of have to recharge, because otherwise in the morning, your watch is now at 10% or 15%, and that's the worst feeling ever. So now you should be able to charge it. And again, same scenario. Let's say you wake up at a reasonable time 8 a.m., finish your day at 10 p.m. Now your Series 11 should now still have anywhere from 35% to 45% battery left in the tank. And that's just enough to get you through another business day, say the next day, and then finally recharge on your way back home. So that's pretty nice, I guess. But other than that, I mean, God, this is pitiful. There's almost nothing here that's different. Jesus. Nope. I'm really going to have to go in detail and make a dedicated video. I mean, I have the Series 10, and I'm going to get some Series 11s and just do a full breakdown because, God, nothing here is really different. The durability did improve. You have a 2 times more scratch-resistant ION-X glass than the previous generation with the aluminum case. I guess that's okay. But man, same phone pretty much. Now, same smartwatch. Now, I want to emphasize that when we compare these side by side, these are hardware things. Hardware means the actual devices. Now, with watchOS and the new iOS, they sometimes have software-specific features that are only available on said devices, kind of like the dumb wrist flick thing. I think it's asinine that like the technology's there on the Series 10. Oh boy, it's definitely there. They just lock you out so that they can be like, oh, sorry, this is a new software thing. You need the new one. It's so stupid and I hate it. But you are going to have some new software features, which again, stay tuned for my full reviews because I'm going to go over all the changes whenever I review everything. And now finally, I wanted to look, this one was the one I was interested in, the SE3, just because at my job, we sell SEs all the time. They're cheap, they're affordable, and they're a really great way to introduce someone into the Apple ecosystem in terms of the watches. So you're going to have the SE2 and the SE3, same pricing. So the GPS plus cellular is going to be $299, and the GPS version is going to be $249. Still a very affordable gadget from Apple, all things considered. So same casing size. You're now going to have an always Retina display on the new SE3. Again, you can turn that off in the settings. Same max brightness at 1000 nits. This is not a bright Apple Watch by any means. This is going to have sleep apnea notifications for anyone who suffers with that. It is going to have the new temperature sensor as well. So again, this helps better with cycle tracking and stuff like that for women. Same water resistance capabilities. This is going to be 5G capable as well, just like with the other ones. You do get the new S10 chip though, so this actually is going to be really, really good. The S10 chip is just going to make the SE just a much more fluid device. The SE2 can seem a little sluggish to me, at least, especially coming from the Ultra 2, and plus the display size is just too small for me, at least in my opinion. But you do have a much better chipset that's just going to make everything a lot more fluid and a lot snappier. Still the same battery life, but now you get up to 32 hours in low power mode. And this, just like the other ones, does have the 0 to 80% charging in about 45 minutes. Before, it didn't have any kind of fast charging feature. Other than that, I think that is everything. Yep, that is everything. So we really... Oh, the chipset on the SE3 does have a 4-core neural engine. Before, it did not. And the SE3 now has a 64 gigabyte base configuration, meaning you can store a lot more music and a lot more media straight onto your watch. Sleep apnea, nightly wrist temperature tracking, all that good stuff. Still the same Bluetooth 5.3. And yeah, so that's the SE3. I mean, the SE3 is just very lackluster. They just keep it on the lineup just because they know it's the budget one. And it's usually the one that gets a lot of people into the Apple ecosystem anyway. Let's see. Tyra says, I am 31 years old. Awesome. Happy birthday from Orlando. Thank you. No jokes. I really appreciate that. Coming all the way from Orlando. Bro, and you said I missed you, Poppy. I missed that. Man, I appreciate you, bro. Molly says, happy birthday. Thank you. Techify saying happy birthday, Juan. I guess it takes Juan to know Juan. I appreciate it. I want to upgrade to Watch Ultra 1 to Ultra 3. Stay tuned for that video, man, because I have both the Ultra 1 and then my black one is my Ultra 2. And then, of course, I'm going to get the Ultra 3 just to make all those nice videos and the band videos, most importantly. That's a good-looking man. That's a good-looking man. My name, no jokes. Okay. Yes, I was wondering. I also have the Apple Watch 10 and didn't see hardly any changes, except I want all the heart stuff. I do the iOS update. Will my Series 10 have all the new heart features? I think it should. They normally don't lock you out for any of the cool health features unless they explicitly say it on the keynote. But no, you should be able to get all the notifications. Yes, please do a video for the 10 to 11. I will, Molly. I will. And I will definitely give you a small little shout out somewhere throughout the video. So let me actually screenshot this. Then that way I can be like a lot of you guys and, I don't know, like one of my great subscribers, Molly. And then that way I can plug you in. Tyra, do AirPods Pro 3. Oh, yeah, AirPods Pro 3. Okay, I'm saving that for another live stream just because this one's already been pretty lengthy, at least in my opinion, for coming right back to it. And I still have to go to the gym. So I started at 9:45. I'm almost been here for a whole hour. I can't believe that. No jokes. Let's be honest, bro. I saw Apple products. They stopped producing the old version and shipping out the lower the prices for like 3 days. Saw then other people come looking for that one that was on sale. Yep, that's what always happens at AT&T. They're going to, like a month from now, people are going to want to come looking for the 16 Pro like it's gold, and then we're not going to have it. Then, boom, they only have the new product, and you really want it, but more expensive. Correct. Stormy Day, nice to see you. Hi. So do you need a video editor? Because I'm about to be a freelance video editor. Maybe, Stormy Day, maybe for shorts. So get in contact with me on my Instagram because eventually I want to do a kind of revenue split sharing to help me with my shorts department. We can negotiate that percentage, but I'm officially going to ask for that later this holiday season on my Twitter and Instagram, because if I could split revenue with someone on the short side, and let's say the short revenue, initially it might start with like, I don't know, maybe $200, $300 a month on the short side. Then if we agree upon, like, let's say a 30% split, then the harder we both work, the more money we both make, right? So we can always negotiate on terms later, but that is something that I was considering specifically for my shorts. Techify, sell your old device to me, bro. I might. I mean, I'm going to have a lot of shit that I'm going to have to get rid of. I already know that I have a iPad Pro that I'm probably going to get rid of soon. I don't know what I'm going to do yet with my 16 Pro Max. I'm not going to trade it in, that's for sure. But I don't know if I'm just going to keep it or if I'm going to eventually later sell it once I do all my comparisons. I don't know. Apple Watch Series 11s were kind of disappointing. Hella disappointing. What do you guys mean? Let's be honest. And I'm going to say it in my full review. Disappointing. If you're going from a Series 10, there's no point to get the Series 11. Absolutely no point. Just keep it. Tyra says, I want to help you on shorts videos for you. Awesome, guys. So yes, again, I am a small to medium channel. I know that thankfully we've built this community from the ground up, almost approaching 70K subs. I still don't have the kind of revenue purchasing power like the big dogs like MKBHD. So at this point, later, once I officially announce it, I will need someone to help me out pumping out shorts. I'm talking almost every day, and then we'll do a revenue split from that. So Tyra and also Stormy Day, just contact me on my Instagram if you're interested. I'm going to have other people hit me up later once I officially announce it on my Twitter and Instagram that I'm looking for a video editor specifically for short form content. Whew. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, almost have been here for a whole hour. I want to thank each and every one of you. My hiatus was well spent. Got a lot of time to just enjoy myself, relax. Also, I was grinding throughout that time, so it wasn't just all relaxation, but it's grind time, and I'm super, super excited to be back. So thank you to everyone who made it back to my comeback live stream. It really means a lot to me. I know that making them at around 10 p.m. is kind of hard for my folks over here on the East Coast, especially those that sleep very early. I don't. But thank you. It really means a lot to me. It really, really does. I don't know yet on a upload schedule for live streams. I'm thinking of this year doing them once a week. I know I like the live streams too, but it's not set in stone yet, okay? So I'm going to announce my regular live stream schedule again here very soon when all the new stuff comes out. So whenever I start, I'm probably going to start with bands, or I don't know, I might do the Series 11 just because, I mean, it's basically the same shit. I don't know yet. I'll see. But I will definitely keep you guys posted. So again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, guys. It means the world to me that so many of you guys pulled up, and so many of you guys have said that you guys miss me. So that means a lot. Also, thanks to everyone who sent me birthday wishes. Again, I'm turning 30, dirty 30 this weekend on Saturday, actually. So perfect day for a party, or not a party, but for my 30th birthday, right? So, all right, ladies and gents, that's been it for tonight. Hope everyone has a great morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're watching it in the world. And I'll be catching y'all very soon once this new stuff comes out. So catch y'all later.